the chests reveal themselves like a crack in the wall. Starting small and grow in time.
What do you know about your father?
There's very little that I do know about him because he was never really around. So I really can't give too much information because I don't know. I think he didn't really know how to be a father because he was a younger guy, and I think he really just wanted to run the streets, and he got caught up in the street life as far as drugs and all of that stuff out there.
Damon's father, biological father, is named David, but his father is Jared Francis. That's his father.
My stepson is Damon. I believe he is 30 now. I was there when he was 7. I met his mother when I was 7, and we got together and we started our life together.
When he first met my mother, I was around. I was young. I think I was like 7 years old. And he instinctively just, took the responsibility of becoming a father to me. And at that time, he had no children, so I was his, first child.
If Jared was to be here and David was to be here, he would say, "This is David. That's my biological father. But this is Jerry. This is my dad."
What do you think the effect is of your father not being there for you?
I would like for him to have been there to teach me how to ride a bike, talk to a girl for the first time, go to somebody I can talk to about sex and stuff like that, but I didn't have that. I had my mothers. And I say mothers because I had so many different women who were like mothers that helped raise me. So I have mothers, not just one.
Oh, Damon, I had him when I was in high school. He's an old man now. And then I have Quincy, that's the middle one. And then I have my baby, Jeremy. And all my boys are joys to me. Jared Francis, good father. We're divorced now, but from the time that we separated, he was there for his boys. And that's one thing that we talked about when we were still married, is if we ever did separate, you cannot forget that you got these children here, and he would come and get his boys every 2 weekends, and then 2 weekends out of the summer, he would take them, he'd go on road trips with them, anything, he would go to open school. It was like they had their father in their life every step of the way. It's just that he didn't live in the home.
On me personally, it really didn't have too much of an effect because I was a lot older than my younger brothers. I think it had more of a negative effect on them because he had always been there since they were born. So that's all they knew was their mother and their father. And that was a great thing because they had the 2-parent home. And unfortunately, things happened where it turned into a 1-parent home.
It took it very hard, but I made sure I was there to explain to them if they have any problems, come straight to me and talk to me about it.
Quincy was, 8 at the time? And I think he took it a little better than Jeremy did. Jeremy, on the other hand, everything, why my father had to leave. Oh, why y'all couldn't. Jeremy, you remember that time? Do you?
What time is this?
When you asked me why 2 people that in love one time, how they fall out of love, and I looked at you, were 5 years old at the time, and I looked at you. Where does this child get this from? They'd have been a little bit more disciplined. You see, with just mommy, they just try to run over her, but she wasn't having it. I don't think that I would have to talk as much, because even now, when daddy comes around, especially with Jeremy, yes, daddy, yes, daddy, yes, daddy, they're like little soldiers.
I'm closer to my kids now than my father was to his kids. My father was very disciplined, because his father raised him disciplined, my grandfather, and I learned from that. I learned that, I could have my discipline, but I could also get to know my sons.
How do you think you compare as a father to your own father?
There's no comparisons. And I say that because my father's still out there producing young children. You know, I'm 30 years old, I only have one child. I think by the time he was my age, he had about 3 or 4 kids, or maybe 5, I don't know. I lost count a long time ago. I've accomplished more in my 30 years than he has in his 50 years. I've finished school. I have a degree, a bachelor's degree in business administration. I'm in the military. I'm a sergeant in the military. I have 2 cars. He doesn't know how to drive. I know how to drive. So, I'm an account manager with Coca-Cola. There's just no comparison of the two. Yeah, there are slight similarities and traits as far as our facial features and stuff like that. But other than that, that's where the comparisons end.
Do you feel that because your sons didn't grow up with a father in the home, do you feel that they might continue
the cycle?
Yes.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Tell us something about Damon. Does he have any kids?
Yes. He has one. He has a son. That's my little puppy. He calls me Nana Jean.
My son, the most beautiful thing in the world, his name is Brandon James Tyson. He is absolutely a handful, to say the least. He is one of a kind. They say he's 2 of a kind. They say he's just like me. But he's absolutely one of a kind because he's such a precious joy and a gift from God. I thank God every day that, he was put into my life because he helped settle me down in a sense where as I'm not running the streets like I used to and things are just, I look at life very differently now because life is very precious because now I'm somebody's father and I'm not going to let what my father did to me, I'm not going to do the same things to my son. My son actually lives in Florida, so I go to Florida every month to see my son. It doesn't matter what my schedule is or what I'm doing. I take that 4 days to get on that plane and go down there and spend with my son, and that's just our time. When I go down there, it's all about his daddy. I speak to him every day. He tells me how he's doing in school. He's the best thing that I could have ever had happen to me. Anybody can be a father. As far as, their father figures, anybody can be a father because they just have this, certain, like, oh yeah, he's my father. It's like, it's a nonchalant term. But a dad is somebody that you can just go sit down and talk to and open up to and express how you feel. Your dad is always gonna be, your dad is like, that's my dad, man. That's my heart right there. That's my dog. Your dad is like the #1 man in your life. No matter if you're a male or female, your dad is who he is. Your dad. Can't nobody be your dad. Anybody can be a father, but can't nobody be your dad.